Ladies and gentlemen, welcome your East High Scarlets.
Woody Saddoris, and I've been the voice of the Scarlets for almost 23, 24 years.
How did you get into commentating?
Well, I did some announcing when I played semi-pro football. When I stopped playing football, then I started doing announcing with Dick Youngs. I don't know if you guys know who Dick Youngs was, but he was a very well-known DJ here in Des Moines who also graduated from East. So he and I shared the mic on we played for the Des Moines Vikings, semi-pro football team here. And so he and I shared the mic. I started with that. I did a little bit of DJ work in the service. And then I had a great job lined up as a DJ here in Des Moines until I found out they're going to pay me $1.29 an hour. I said, I don't think so.
Like, why East Sports? Was it just because of your son? He was an athlete here?
Well, actually, we've got a very long history. My parents graduated from East in 1931 and 1934. My two older brothers graduated in 57 and 59. I graduated in 63. And our two sons graduated in 95 and 97. And my wife taught here for 42 years.
Wow.
So all those things all combined is like I've never left. So.
What do you love about Scarlet Athletics?
There was a time in East history, I think, where if we got behind, that was it. We're done. We gave up. We quit. And I don't think that's the case anymore. There's a lot of spirit that I don't know if it's the history of East or whatever, but there is a don't give up attitude with most of the sports here.
What does preparation look like on game days for you?
I get here probably about an hour before I need to. I have to make sure, number one, that the equipment works. I have most of my own equipment. When I first started out, I just had a microphone. And when the first basketball games I did, there was no music. There was nothing. It was just did the announcing. And George Davis was the girls' coach at the time. I don't know if you guys know who George Davis is, but George is a force to be reckoned with. At that time, he and I thought it would be a good idea to have some music for the warm-ups. So he gave me a tape of Sweet Georgia Brown, which was the music that the Harlem Globetrotters used for their warm-ups. And so we started using that. We were really, I think, the first ones in the CIML. It wasn't CIML then. But we were the first ones in the Warren area to start using music as a warm-up. And then that changed and morphed into every time there was, a timeout or whatever, then I would just play something. My whole goal in that point is to get the crowd involved and to generate some enthusiasm for the players and for the spectators.
What has been your favorite memory while commentating at East?
Wow. First thing that comes to mind, I think, is the softball championships in Fort Dodge when we won the championship. That was awesome. I carried the trophy around for probably half an hour. But there's been a lot of highlights, Whenever we beat Dowling, that's always good.
What's your favorite sport to commentate?
How do I say this without offending anybody else? It would be between softball and basketball. And mainly because, like in basketball, the kids are right there. I get to see them, I get to talk to them, and I think that's really big for me. Football, I'm way up there, nobody sees me. I don't get to interact with any of the kids. And softball's the same way. I go talk to most of the players, either before or after the game. It makes me feel more connected, I guess. So I enjoy softball probably the most because I played football, but I don't necessarily very knowledgeable necessarily about it, but I do know softball pretty well. So if I had to pick one, it'd be softball.
But so I think everyone that's went to East High
it's impacted them in some way. I'd like to say mostly positively, but what is one way that East has impacted your life?
I think there's a legacy that comes from attending East, one of the largest alumni associations in the world. There's a lot of history, there's a lot of tradition that goes with East, and I think you learn that. I think most East people would gladly help you if you needed help. I can't say necessarily that would always be the case in other places. But yeah, East High gives you a good background.
Is there anything you'd like to add?
I enjoy doing it, and I will do it, like I said, until I can't anymore. It's always saying, "Oh, let's go do it." Oh, okay, I've got a game tonight. But that's a personal choice that I make, and I will do it as long as I can. So I get to meet people like you.
I probably would have got to know Woody just when Trent, my son, became a freshman up here at East, so that would have been in 2004.
25 years ago.
Woody, he's just a likable person. He's got a lot of personality. He's funny, and I got to know his wife was also teaching here at the same time. So Trent had her as a teacher, and she was just a really special person too. So probably between knowing both of them, you realize they were just great people, fun to be around, easy to please, and very appreciative for anything they did. And actually, we needed to be really appreciative of all he did for us because it's been a lot.
Good guy, great guy. Very quiet, knows what he's doing up there.
Well, as we call him, the voice of the Scarlets. I think he's been here so long. It's hard to imagine him not being around. You just, it's a person that you expect to be here. He's just part of the community. He's part of the staff. You look at him and he's here all the time. There's very rare when he's not here. I mean, he gives us an idea when he's not going to be here, but he's just here at every event, and you just appreciate the commitment that he gives to us.
Always be smart. I know his wife works here. His wife works here with me. I work here.
Absolutely not, because I don't think it's rare to find a person who's that committed to a program. I think one of the things we just realized was Jerry Lynn that provided all the scoring. We lost him this fall, and you realize what an impact he's made. And like as I say, you don't find people who are willing to give that much time just as a volunteer to a sport. And so I'd say no. It'd be very hard to find somebody. And definitely I don't think you would find a person that would be willing to give in 3 sports like he does.